All right, almighty suspect. How's it going?
Chilling, bro. I'm chilling, bro. How you doing?
I'm good, man. Glad to have you.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here. Glad to be here.
Man, you've been making a lot of noise lately, man. It's it's been going down.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit, to say the least.
Yeah, it's been going
All right,
up.
man. Well, let's just get right into it, man. I think the internet's been seeing all the stuff been going on with little Kelpy, man. So, I kind of want to just kind of get like a brief rundown of how we got here today, man. So you and Sharp had, Sharp brought him on the Sharp Tank, and you were there with him.
Yeah.
Okay, so leading up to that, did you guys see him on Soft White Underbelly?
Yeah, that's how it came about. Like I think I was just like sitting at home one day, and then Sharp called me. He was like, "Yo, check this interview out." You know what I'm saying? Then I watched it, and then he was like, "Yeah, we gonna chop him up." Like it was just we watched it. He sent it to me, and he was like, "You see this kid? Like I want you to sit in during the interview with me." You know what I'm saying? So I didn't know nothing about him before, just the Soft White Underbelly, and when I seen him and I just looked at it and I was just like, I just feel like you a fraud, and I just feel like you just copying shit. You know what I'm saying? You just putting other people's stories together, just copying it and just meshing it together, and it just rubbed me the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? So he invited me, and I did the little interview with Sharp, and shit. We ended up verbally attacking that nigga and went viral.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did, man. You guys went at him pretty hard. And so you guys felt like Kelpy was just faking it, and then he didn't have no authenticity to pimping.
Facts. Hell yeah. You can smell it on him. Like it's fabricated. He's lying. Hell yeah. And then it was like, I wish I would have did a little more research besides the Soft White Underbelly interview on him. Cause I went, listened to a couple SoundCloud songs and shit, and he talking about he putting bitches on Fig and bitch get my dough and all this type of shit. And then in the interview, he's like, "Nah, I've never been on no Blades. I'm just an OnlyFans manager and X, Y, and Z." And just like, it was so many fucking inconsistencies with the man's story. The shit was just ridiculous.
Okay, so you notice these inconsistencies. You guys bring him on.
Mm-hmm.
And so what was your kind of plan? Did you guys just kind of want to teach him a lesson so he could be what you felt like more of himself?
It was, to be honest, I feel like the interview would have went however he would have came. It's however it would have went. Like if he would have just went up there and just kept that shit a bean, it probably wouldn't have went that viral, because I wouldn't have did shit. Like, you kept it a bean, I get it. If you would have been like, all right, look, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I might got a little females around. We might not really be doing that, but I got her on OnlyFans and I got my little SoundCloud shit going. Like, I would have been like, all right, I respect that. You know what I'm saying? But when you just come in here, costume, you got your little purple eBay pimp costume, you got your little dollar chain on and shit. It's just like, that shit was like the equivalent of blackface to me. Like you went home and you was like, this what a pimp's supposed to look like, and this what I think. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just a game to you, and it kind of pissed me off.
So you have some history?
Yeah, I'm affiliated. Definitely when it comes to, I'm involved in the game. Yeah. So that's why I take the shit so personal, because it's like, you're lying. I know you're lying. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you were in any form of lifestyle, you're gonna be mad as hell if you at the gym every day, you playing football, and you see a nigga walk up with a ball, he got face paint on, tar under his eyes and shit. You know what I'm saying? But this nigga sucks. He don't play nothing. You can see it on him. Like, he just came dressed like he a star quarterback, but my nigga wrist weak as fuck. He can't throw, he can't do anything. Like, you get what I'm kind of saying? Like, you feel me? Like, it's just like you just completely fabricated and you dressed the part, but you have no experience in it whatsoever.
So how personal do pimps take it when they feel like another guy is like faking being a pimp?
Very personal. Very personal. Cause it's like, bro, that shit is it's not just like a fucking side mission. Nigga, that shit is it's an entire lifestyle. Like, you get what I'm saying? So it's not just, oh, I just want to wake up and I'm gonna do this today and I'm gonna go viral for it. Like, hey, that's cool. You can do what you want to do. If he would have went somewhere else, I think it would have been a little less of a problem. But you went on Soft White Underbelly where people were pouring their fucking souls out to Mark. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all serious ass interviews. Everything on Mark's shit is like real serious. You know what I'm saying? People telling you about their struggles and their demons that they go through, and then here this clown come. You feel me? So it's like, yeah, bro, that shit, it just rubbed me the wrong way.
All right, so you guys bring him on Shark Tank.
Mm-hmm.
Goes viral.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You guys give him a verbal beatdown. A lot of things are said in that interview.
Yeah.
And how'd you feel after the interview was done?
I mean, after it was like, and then people came saying like, "Oh, y'all was just yelling at him." It's man, for the people who really know, and I'm sure it's gonna be a small percent, but for the motherfuckers who really know, when you outside actively doing this shit, that was light. It'll be way worse. Niggas will beat your ass and tell you get the fuck from over here. Like, you can't be over here, your bitches can't be over here, none of that shit. Y'all gotta get the fuck from over here. That was light. Like, but it had to happen. But I mean, I just was like, hopefully the nigga took some, I said that to say like we yelling at him, but it's like, nigga, at the same time, we're giving you game at the same time. We telling you like, bro, you're gonna get life for playing with this shit. I don't understand. What you playing for? You gonna fuck around and get the book through at you because you on camera with some bitches professing to, you know what I'm saying, professing to be a pimp. Like, you look absolutely ridiculous, my nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? You playing with this shit. That was the whole point. We really tried to give him some fucking news he could use and put some fucking paint where it wasn't, and he didn't, and he just couldn't see that because, or the world couldn't see that because we yelling at him, but we really trying to get a nigga some game. Really trying to lace your fucking boots because you're a goofy.
So he does it, and he comes on my show.
Oh yeah.
Not too long after that. He didn't really say, too much negative stuff, you know what I'm saying? I think the worst thing he says is he didn't really feel scared at the time. I don't think we talked about you, we mostly talked about Sharp. But then after that, he comes back. And you and Adam interview him this time.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how are you feeling about the situation now? Now that he's been gone a while, he's not changing, what he's saying or what he's, doing, or, you know what I'm saying? Nothing's really changing. So can you kind of take me through, like, what were you thinking going into that second interview?
I was hella hesitant. I didn't even want to do it because I was just like, for what? Like, I already said everything I had to say to him, for what? Like, you know what I'm saying? But for anybody who asks Adam, like, you could tell you, like, I didn't really want to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, he asked me, like, you think it's a good idea? You think we should do it? And I was like, to be honest, no. I don't think that shit a good idea. But if you want to do it, like, I'm going to do it. But I don't think we should. I told him. And he was like, shit, we going to do it. So I was like, all right, whatever, bro. If you want me there, I'll do it. I work here. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? So fuck it. I'm going to go. But I don't know, like, I didn't go in there. I just was like, whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? I never went there like, I'm finna beat this nigga ass if he says something crazy. Like, that shit never came across my mind. Like, you feel me? Like, ever. I was just like, whatever. I'm just gonna go to that nigga again, here for all. Whatever happens, happens. Like, you know what I'm saying? I didn't really go in that shit with too much expectations because I didn't know that he had linked up with Slim. I didn't know the whole little ploy. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know. If I knew, I probably still would have did it. Yeah, I still would have did it because niggas don't scare me. But, I mean, I didn't have no certain expectations with the shit. I just was like, hey, I don't think we should do it, but if you want me to, fuck it, I'll come.
So you guys sit down for the interview, and it kind of starts to be just like the first one.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
But this time, he's
his energy different.
Verbally fighting back a little bit.
And
eventually things escalate, to a pretty disrespectful place.
Facts.
He said something, that a man really shouldn't say to another man.
Exactly.
At least not while he's sitting down.
Yeah, unless you're ready to fight. Those is fighting words. And then people can't say like, oh, you disrespected him first. That's cool. We can do that. I understand it's a podcast. Like, I didn't just say like, oh, I'm not going for shit if a nigga called me out my name, or we could have went back and forth. You could have called me a clown. You could have said something about a nigga hairline. You could have said something about a nigga clothes. Any of that shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? This is just regular back and forth banter. But I'm not finna let you call me a bitch. Now you're doing too much. You feel me? Like, we could have went back and forth, but he knew what he was doing. You knew you crossed the line. Like, you knew.
So he calls you a bitch, and you pretty much jump on him.
Yeah.
Beat him up pretty bad from what I understand. And So what was kind of like the outcome of that initially?
That shit was crazy. It's like, I didn't want to do that shit, but it's like you forced my hand. Cause let's just be real. How could I have won? Like the only way I could have won, you can't win for losing. It's just don't take part of it. That's the only way I could have won is if I just didn't agree to the interview. Cause if you let him call you a bitch, you a bitch. And if you don't let him call you a bitch, you a bully and you only picked on him because he's little. Like there was no winning unless I just didn't take part of it. So it's like, and the first thing I thought, I was like, damn. You just low-key wild out. Like, you just pulled the old Jew on camera. Like, you know what I'm saying? People who know me, they know I've been fucking fighting since I was in fucking kindergarten. But, I mean, I get it. We're on a podcast. We trying to do shit different. You know what I'm saying? We trying to be professional. So it's like, I don't think that shit was cool. But if a nigga call me a bitch, I'm all gonna do it again? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I'm just not gonna go for the disrespect. But I didn't think it was cool, though. I don't think that shit was cool at all.
Were you worried you were going to lose your job?
Yeah. That's why I didn't think it was cool. I'm like, damn, nigga might get fired over this one. You feel me? But I mean, if anybody know Adam, man, Adam love shit like that. We ain't encouraging shit like that to happen on the podcast, but bro, hey, clearly I'm not fired because nigga saw me the next Monday on that motherfucker. I just, you know what I'm saying? I'm still hosting. I'm still doing my thing. I'm full-time podcaster at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm still around, but nah, I was definitely like, damn, I might get fired for this one. But Kelpy's a fucking idiot, so I ain't get fired.
One thing I did see is that, like, I guess he did a podcast the day before, and he was kind of like, you know, saying that he's gonna go up there with like a different energy and everything.
Yeah. And that shit didn't drop until the Kelpy shit dropped, if I'm not mistaken. Like, I didn't see that video beforehand. Like, I didn't know nothing about that shit until after the whole situation. I'm like, that's why he came in here with that vibe. That's why, like, you know what I'm saying? Because ODM Slim was on the video talking about, we going to go up there with force and we going to see if they come up there with that same energy. And clearly we did, because you didn't do shit when I put my hands on that nigga.
Okay, so, and now all this happens, and now he's still going around and he's kind of still talking.
Hey, dumbasses do dumb shit. Like, you get what I'm saying? Hey, it is what it is. But I mean, I just think he's a whole character. So this was his plan. I thought like this was his whole plan. You know what I'm saying? He did all that shit strategically. I think it was all a plan. Definitely. Hey, he can say what he want, but it's chess, not checkers. Nigga, it's your move. I'll put my hands on you. It's your turn. You can talk all you want.
Did he call you out for the fade? Another one?
I think want to do a charity celebrity boxing match. I'm not with none of that goofy shit. Like, bro, fight me where you mad at. That's what I'll do. Wherever I'm mad, that's where we gonna fight. Other than that, don't call me. Like, nigga, wherever you see me at and you angry, we could fight. Other than that, I'm not doing none of that shit because that's just helping him. That's just clout. That's just him. He trying to build himself up with all this internet, social media antics, and it's like we just helping him at this point.
So all this happens, you know what I'm saying? You're on no jumper, your job is safe.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's you know, you guys are both doing crazy numbers at this point, man. Everybody's, you know, kind of drawn in on this story, man. And then it comes out that I guess the Monday show, you're not going to be part of it no more?
False. So I guess that was right after it, because they was scared. Like it was like a possible lawsuit in the air at that time. So I was off the Monday show for 2 episodes, but I came back and I was on it and we all good. Now that was like some whole other little weird ass fucking office drama, but like I'm not getting kicked off shit. I'm good for sure. I'm straight. I'm good.
Oh, okay. So I could have swore I just seen the clip where Flacco and
yeah,
Gino
there was some whole bullshit with Flacco being messy and shit. Basically, like, the truth is, well, in my opinion, I think Flacco, I'm sure everybody's seen that old 16 shot him shit. I think Flacco has some deja vu and like a flashback with him in 16 and me and Flacco, and me and Kelpy, and he was like, I don't want no parts of that shit. So I think really once that shit happened, and he was probably already tired of us going back and forth on the Monday show, but people don't realize that that's what they tell me to do. Every time we go back and forth, like when the camera go off, Flacco will be like, fire episode, that shit was great, keep it up. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I think the show's been going down for a while. But soon as the cameras go off and me and him get into it, he'd be like, that's fire. Keep doing that. See you next week. Do that again. But then I think he didn't know the type of nigga that I was. And I think it hit too close to home for him, basically. You feel me? So I think he just too scared to be across the table from me. But I don't got no problem with Flacco. I would never get at him like that. Like, you different. This is a random nigga who just walked in the building and called me a bitch. You my co-host. You get some form of discrepancy. You feel me? That's a whole different ball game. This just some random dude. Like, you feel me? It's different. I would never get at Flacco like that. But he could have talked to me about it. I didn't know shit. He didn't tell nobody. He just went right to the higher ups. And I want to get off this shit with him. Like, nigga ain't call me and say nothing. Like, oh, I think, you know what I'm saying? So maybe he could have got a better understanding of me and how I think. Because I would have told him, like, bro, you're good. Like, that's just a random dude who walked in here and called me a bitch. I'll never get at you like that. But, hey. But nah, I mean, I honestly don't know what the fuck going on. You know what I'm saying? We got to tune in on Monday to see. But Susgerb is not fired. I'm straight. I talk to Adam every day. I'm not fired. I'm good.
Well, let me say, man, you guys had some chemistry on camera. You know what I mean? The classic, you guys are like polar opposites. So
yeah, that shit works. It works, man. It works. I just think he don't know how far I'll take it, and now he's seen, and I just think he don't want to be that close to it. But it's like, bro, I would never get at you like that. You my co-host, we work in the same building, like we supposed to be a team. I'd never come at him like I came at Kelpy, because that's just some random. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. But I know for sure I'm still gonna be on there. I'm doing interviews on No Jumper. I interview people. I'm doing all type of shit on there. So I'm not going nowhere. Y'all definitely gonna see more of me on No Jumper for sure.
So you're gonna start doing interviews. Have you always been doing interviews?
For the past maybe 2 months, I did an interview with Lola Brooke. She just got that song Don't Play With It going viral on TikTok. Who else have I interviewed? I've done a few, but I'm about to start going full-fledged into the interviews. Y'all about to see. But yeah, that's what I've been doing on No Jumper. Interviews, and I'm a host on the Monday show.
Well, that's what's up, man. That's good shit.
I be watching your shit too all the time.
Oh,
I'll be at the crib. I'll be at the crib watching you.
That's what's up, man. I try to get it in, man.
No, you definitely got some shit going over here, for sure. I'll be tapped in.
I'll be working, man. I appreciate it, man. So let's get into your whole story, man. So where were you born and raised at? Where'd you grow up at?
So the earliest that I can remember is being on the east side. Like what is that? Like El Segundo and Fig? Like 117th and like Denver and like in between like Denver and Hoover. So like right past the Blade. When the Blade stops on like El Segundo, it's like a Jack in the Box right there, McDonald's, a check cashing, and the gas station. Past that motherfucker on like 117th is where I grew up. I went to West Athens Elementary, but I grew up everywhere. Like I moved around a lot. I was a badass kid. My pops and my mom was together until about like 3rd grade. So when they separated, I went with my mom's. She moved to the Valley. You feel me? So like from nigga left the east side, like 3rd grade, 4th grade, went to the Valley. And then I just completely like nigga just literally dropping the east side kid in the Valley. I'm just fucking shit up, getting in trouble like immediately. So by 6th grade, I was kicked out the district by from over there. So like from 4th, 5th, 6th in the Valley, I was kicked out by 6th, whole district. So from 6th grade, where the fuck did we went? I went to like a downtown LA school for a minute. I was like the only black dude. It was all Hispanics. That shit was crazy. Downtown LA, I went to school downtown LA for a little bit. That was like maybe like 7th grade. And then we relocated to Torrance for like 8th grade and 9th grade. I got kicked out of Carson High, 9th grade. Then I went to Narbonne for like 9th grade a little bit. I got kicked out of that motherfucker. And then by this point, my mom just fed the fuck up. Like, you got to get the fuck up out of here. So I'll go to my dad. Now I'm back in LA. You feel me? So by this point, my dad moved over to like the west side. So he moved to like Crenshaw District, Crenshaw and Jefferson area, Jefferson Park area. So then I started going to school over there. Or did I already skip? Nah. 6th grade, Carson, did too much, got kicked out of there. Yeah. Then I went to Dorsey for my 10th grade year. And then that's when I started going to jail and shit. Then that's when I started flocking, burglaries, shit like that. I'm starting to really, you know what I'm saying, dibble dabble in the streets. That's like 13, 14. We full-fledged in the streets, in niggas' houses, burglaries, robberies, holding deuces, 38s, little shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And then, yeah, that's when, first time I went to jail, I think I was, what was we, like 13? Yeah, like 13 was the first time I went to jail. Yeah, for robbery, for burglary. We got caught in the house.
Damn.
Yeah, we got
They
caught
came home?
in the house.
Did they come home on you?
Nah, the police. So we in that motherfucker. We might as well tell the story, you feel me? So we in that motherfucker, bro. We in the house. We break through the backyard. We go through the backyard. We bust the sliding glass door, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, we bust the sliding glass door. We in that motherfucker. But like at this point, I'm already extra comfortable hitting houses. So I'm doing dumb shit. I'm in the fridge. You know them Starbucks, them iced coffees. I'll never forget. Starbucks iced coffee. That's the first thing I did. As soon as I went in the house. Went right to the refrigerator. Bust the fridge open. Starbucks iced coffee. I'm drinking that shit. Walking around. We found some pistols under the mattress. We found some checks. We found all type of shit. We in the living room. Nigga got a samurai sword over the TV. I grabbed the samurai sword. I'm in that bitch playing. Niggas all off focus at this point because I was just hella comfortable with hitting houses already. So in my head, nigga, I'm good. Like, we straight. So we hit that motherfucker. We finna get out. One of the homies is climbing out the window that we came in, and like, I see the expression on his face. He like look to the right, and then he look at us, and he like, y'all come outside, bro, like, we caught. I'm like, fuck you mean, we caught, nigga? The police had his ass outside, like they guns drawn on him in the backyard. He getting low, he turned at us. To me, he dry snitched to me. He told the police like he not the only person in the house. Like, he like, y'all might as well like come out, we caught. Well, fuck you mean? So me and the other homies, we run to the front door and we finna hop the gate. We starting to look, but the police is already everywhere, surrounded, guns everywhere. So we all get down. I tell everybody, don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. I'm telling nigga, don't say nothing. Everybody keep that shit shut. Don't say nothing. Cause this, I already went through this shit before type shit, you feel me? So I'm telling niggas like, don't say nothing. But we was all hella young and they didn't even take us to the halls. They cited us out from the station and we had a court date. So I think that was the beginning of the end for me. Cause I was like, I could hit the house and they gonna cite me out? Nigga, I was at home by the end of the day. Maybe because we was so young, we was like 13, 14, we was young. It was all like our first like official offenses. They cited us out, court date, everybody's parents came to get him and we went home. I'm like, nigga, I'm finna go crazy. So immediately after that, I'm in another house the next week. I'm doing my thing. No, I think the first time I went to jail, that was the first time I was caught. But we went home. The first time I went down was, I robbed a dairy. You know what a dairy is? Like a drive-through liquor store?
Oh.
Yeah, nigga
okay.
robbed a dairy. Went right to
like
fucking
robbed it with a gun or just like
gunpoint, dairy. So we I'm chilling with the homies. We just coming up with a fucking crazy ass idea. Of course, we want some money, so I gotta play. I'm like in Carson, by my mama shit, it's a dairy. I'm like, we could rob that motherfucker, bro. And my mama stay right down the street. We could run to that building. We good. You know what I'm saying? So we go to that motherfucker. I remember what we do. We go inside. We acting like we finna buy shit. We just, you know what I'm saying, walking around, look like we finna buy shit. We take it to the front register. The homie, pull out blower. Don't move. Give me all this shit. He like, give me your phone and give me everything in this motherfucker. I could talk about it because we all went to fucking jail. We already got sentenced, convicted, all that shit. So we robbing him, take all the shit from under the cash register. That's how I knew like they hold all the big money under the cash register and in the back. So the homie flipped the gun. The nigga not moving fast enough, the homie flipped the gun, pistol whip him, bam. Smack him in the head with the gun, tell the nigga go to the back, hit the safe, all that other shit. So we go to the back, get the safe, run out that motherfucker. We so stupid, we doing the lick on foot. We on foot. Dumb as fuck. We don't got no car, none of that shit. We on foot, like 14 years old, nigga. We stupid as a bitch. So we get away. We running down the street. We start walking. No. We hit a gated community, changed clothes, cause I had like I had some extra clothes in my backpack. I hit a gated community, I take off some of the shit, and we bounce out from another side of the gated community. We go in one entrance and we go out a different exit, and we just walking down the street thinking successful lick. We walking back to my mom's shit. We walking down the street, one sheriff car, zoom. Nigga get a little stiff. I'm like, oh shit, nothing though. We keep walking. Another sheriff car, zoom. I'm like, oh, we gotta duck off, right? Third sheriff car, he zoom. You feel me? Hit the brakes. He reversed. I'm like, oh, they got us. Everybody break. We all run. I remember the first thing I did, the money that I had on me, I stashed it under I hop a big ass gate. I stashed the money under an apartment building, and then I go from another gate. You feel me? And I'm walking out, cause I'm like, if they got me, I'm coming back to this motherfucker to get my money. They got me though. I climb out the gate. They already out that motherfucker like everywhere. So we get on our knees. Everybody go to jail. And then it's juvenile hall though. So I think I sat down maybe like a month, and then I went home on house arrest. So I'm like, nigga, this is heaven, bro. Like, they not, but I think that's how they get you though. Like, they don't give you no serious charges when you young, and then when you a grown ass man, you think you could do the same shit and fuck around, never be on the streets again. Like, you get what I'm saying? I feel like it's like a setup. You just keep getting slap on the wrist, slap on the wrist, slap on the wrist. At this point, you a fucking seasoned criminal, and you a grown ass man. You hit that county, they give your ass 10 years for these robberies. You know what I'm saying? But like, came right home, house arrest, same shit, thugging.
I gotta ask, did they find the money?
No. I'm finna get to it, you feel me?
Okay.
House arrest. So I'm so thirsty that I wanna go get the money while I'm on house arrest. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, like, I remember thinking like, should I tell one of the homies go? But then they might steal some of that shit. Or you feel me? So I'm just thinking of different ways that I could get the money. So I'm on house arrest for a couple months, and it was across the street from a park. It's Veterans Park. And like Carson, across the street from middle school, Stephen White. And it's some apartments right across the street from the park. And I ducked them up. You know, like when you go, like if you got a house, most houses in California, we don't got like basements and shit, but it'll be like that little small square shit that you can pull off from the side of the house. And like cats and raccoons be under that motherfucker and shit. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. I pulled that shit off and put the money in there. You feel me? So after I go to court, I finish my house arrest, they cut my ankle bracelet off, the first thing I do, go right to that motherfucking apartment building, hop the gate, looking around and shit. I flipped that motherfucker, and it had only been, 2 months since then? The money was right there. It wasn't like big money. It was maybe fucking $2,000, $2,500, but nigga, I'm 15. It's a bag to me. You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, I got back, got like my $2,300, $2,800, and just, you know, did some little stupid kid shit with it. But yeah, little shit like that. I was in and out of juvenile hall, you know what I'm saying, doing my thing. But I was always rapping throughout that shit too, because I come from like a musical family and shit.
Okay, what age did you start rapping?
I'm not gonna lie, dog. I remember being in like 4th grade when you supposed to be doing I remember we were supposed to be doing times tables, you know, the 4 times 4, 8 times 8, 12 times 12, and it's a paper, and then I got my line paper under the times table, and I'm writing raps to that motherfucking shit. Then when the teacher come, I flip it and then act like I'm doing the times table. So it's like I've been rapping since I could remember. My granny was in a soul band. My uncle was a DJ, rest in peace. My dad like a underground hip hop legend and shit, like a LA underground hip hop legend. So it's like I was always involved in some form of rap shit. Always, like Lamert Park, underground, Project Blow, Good Life shit. Like if anybody hit to that shit, like my pop's like a legend from that shit type shit. So I grew up in Project Blow, Good Life, Lamert Park area type shit.
Okay, that's crazy. You know what? I went to Project Blow a few times.
Do you probably know who my dad is? Rifleman.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't there like every week or no shit like that.
That's fire. You know what's going on.
You know what I'm saying? Like I went like a handful of times. You know, I mean, I'm from Inland Empire, so you know what I'm saying? We would travel out there.
So you heard about it type shit and then went to go see.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
We didn't have nothing like that out here.
At all. Nah, yeah, I grew up in all that shit, like open mics. I remember my dad, like, it be grown ass men, and he be like, nigga, go write your name on the list. And I'm writing my name on the open mic list, and that's where I met some of my like friends that I still got to this day, like doing little open mics and shit there and little shit like that. So like, yeah, I was heavy into the rap shit growing up, but I would always get distracted by the street shit. You know what I'm saying? In between it. So I would always come back to the rap once the street shit or, you know, shit like that. I'm doing street shit, go to jail, writing raps in the halls, writing raps in camp and all that little type of shit. So I was always rapping. I always had a studio in my house too, cause my pops. So I always had a studio in the back. Like after school, when we was still going to school, cause even though niggas was always ditching and we was barely there, but like after school, I got the homies in the studio. It's like 8 of us. 14, 15 years old, I'm recording us in that motherfucker. We using the studio, we stealing beats off YouTube. I know how to do all that. Rip the beats, and it's early, before streaming, all that shit. Like 2014, I used to make beats on Reasons and shit. 2014, I'm copying and pasting MP3 leaks, nigga. We stealing beats, rapping to the motherfuckers. I'm recording us on Reasons, Pro Logic, all that type of shit. Logic Pro Tools, all that type of shit. Hella early. We was already doing it, you know what I'm saying, type shit. So it just was natural for me to just be rapping because my whole family was doing it.
And what was your style like when you first started?
That's funny as fuck that you asked. That's a good ass question. I was on some rapidy rap shit like a motherfucker. Like when I first started rapping, it was like, nigga, you trying to come lyrical, spiritual, nigga, like, you know what I'm saying? You trying to be the best of the best. And then it's like, I remember, I'll never forget. I'm at Dorsey. I had some shit I recorded, and I'm in PE, and I'm playing it to a nigga. And nigga look at me, and he like, bro, this shit weak as fuck. And I'm like, nigga, you know how long it took me? Nigga, I just rhymed like 8 words with the last ending of this one, and then it was like a double entendre for the last 2, and he like, that shit weak. So it was just like, that was like a pivotal moment for me in my head, and I'm like, niggas don't give a fuck about that rapidy rap shit, bro. If the beat not fire and the nigga don't feel good, generally, people don't care. So it's like, I wanted to be more on the underground scene that my pops was into, but it was like, nigga, I was kind of forcing myself to do that, but at the same time, I had to teach myself how to do the rap like how everybody do now, because I didn't grow up off that. I didn't grow up off that ratchet shit. I remember my homies used to be playing T-Fly, all that type of shit. I'm like, bro, turn that shit off. I couldn't stand it. I was big on Chicago drill and like niggas who barring up type shit. And eventually it was just like, my environment didn't allow that. It was like, nigga, I had to realize like rapping, generally, you don't rap for yourself, nigga, because you're not buying it. You gotta make music for the masses, because you're not buying it. Unless you want the music to be in your phone and just you and your friends listen to it, that's cool. You can only make music for yourself. But if you trying to make money, you gotta make music for other people, because they're the consumers, you're not the consumer. So it was like, that was a moment for me when I was like, nigga, you gotta switch your sound. So I just started playing with little shit, you know, just rapping more so about the shit that I was doing instead of trying to emulate my pops. And then it cracked like within a year of me doing that shit. Yeah, I think so, yeah. Once I think I was still on my own type of shit though. I used to be big on Lil B. So I used to be stealing Lil B beats, making all my homies rap on that shit. I still wouldn't do what everybody else was doing. You feel me? But then even that shit, it still wasn't clicking for me. And then once I started getting on the shit of that time, like who was popping around that time? Niggas like Problem, Joe Moses, fucking AV, niggas like that. Once I started doing more party LA rap shit was when it finally stuck. But I definitely had a few styles before that you feel me, nigga. As soon as I cracked, deleted all that shit. Like, took all that shit down, you feel me? Like, nah, cause I already knew. I'm like, nah, they gonna bring that shit back years later. Like, I took all that shit down, whole new me, you know what I'm saying? Cause it's like, you different when you 13 from when you 16. You know what I'm saying? It could be it's a whole different person. When them teenage years, like, nigga, a year and 2 years in teenage years is big. So for me being 13 and rapping and then 16, it was just a whole different shit. You'd have been in jail now. You got pistol cases now. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's different. I was just rapping the shit that I was doing, and it just started to take off. Me and Frosty. I met Frosty in Juvenile Hall.
Yeah. Okay. So you meet Frosty, and you guys start hanging out a lot and kind of have similar styles, I take it, at the time?
It was kind of not even like what I don't want to say yet, nah, cause I ain't gonna lie, nigga. I damn near had like an auto-tune song before I had met that nigga. Like I was more like on some, it wasn't auto-tune, but I was harmonizing. You feel me? Like I was still playing with shit, you know? Just trying to see what's gonna stick on the wall. I'm just trying shit. You feel me? And I remember I had met him in the halls a few times. Like the first time I had met him and then he got out, I get out. We don't really link or nothing. Like, but the third time, I believe it was the third time I met him in the halls, because I met him some earlier cases, but I don't know. We just didn't stick. But like the third time I had went, I'm like, damn, you and this motherfucker again? I remember I see him, I'm like, damn, I remember you from S2. Cause we in Y now. When S is when you like 15, and when you go to Y, it's like 17, 18-year-olds in the Y unit. So I meet him when I'm like 17, and then he used to always go home before me, cause that nigga would be in jail for like a fucking probation violation, and I'm in this motherfucker for like 2 pistols and a burglary. So he would always go home first. And I remember the last time he went home, they call his name. He write down a little paper. He write down his Instagram on the paper. I think it was like Snow GGO. He write that motherfucker on the paper, and he like, hey, when you get out, I'm gonna pull up on you, blood. We gonna link, all that shit, blood. When you get out, blood, call me. Hit me on Instagram, blood. I got all the hoes, blood. I'm gonna pull up on you. It's gonna be bracket. So I'm like, all right, bet. You feel me? So I go home a couple months later, and then I'm going through my file. Niggas know when you go home, they let you take some shit. I'm going through some of the books. I took some of the folders, and I see the paper with Snow name on it. So I follow him on Instagram, and I hit him. And then I think the nigga might have pulled up on me that day. He pulled up on me that day in his mama truck. In his mama GMC truck. Pull up in his mom's truck. We link or whatever. Pull up on some bitches. Get some lean. Put it in the Fago. Was it a Fago? Yeah, some little shit. I'm like, I fuck with this nigga. You feel me? So we just start hanging out like every day from that point. And then it's like, you know, once you hang out motherfuckers every day, people start adopting each other's lingo. I'm bringing shit to the table. He bringing shit to the table. You know, when you just with your homie and we was both charismatic niggas at that time. And we just it was just kind of like a big ass stirring pot of his personality and my personality. And then when we did songs together, it just bled. And then like the first song me and him did, that shit blew up on Facebook. I remember we shot the video in my backyard. Shot the video at my dad's house, in my backyard, in the studio at my dad's shit. We used the neighbor car. We didn't have no Benz, none of that shit. We used the neighbor Benz, knocked on the neighbor car, knocked on the neighbor door like, hey, could we use your car for this music video? We use this car for the music video, shoot that shit, and then it started going viral on Facebook. Cause like this Instagram early years, they didn't even have Instagram Live yet. So mostly everybody was on Facebook, you feel me? So we dropped the song. I remember that shit had like 300 shares on Facebook and like 10K views. Nigga, I think I'm famous. At that point, I'm like, oh shit, it cracked. And then it just started rolling from there. It bled to Facebook. And then once he seen, cause he was already rapping and so was I, but we didn't have like no hits yet. You feel me?
What was your guys' style like?
We was on some super like, you feel me? Like some, I guess they'll call it like some pimp hop shit. Like, but I'm not going, Draco was first. So Ralphie, Draco, them niggas was, I say maybe like a year, maybe like 8 months to a year behind us. And I didn't know who they was. But I remember, and that nigga alive, and he alive, bro. Snow took a lot of influence from Draco and Frosty, from Draco and Ralphie, 'cause I didn't know who they were. He would pull up on me and he'd be like, bro, you heard this nigga Draco? You heard this nigga Ralphie? And he'll be playing they shit. You know what I'm saying? So I guess you could say he took some of they shit, and I took some of my past shit from like my pops and all the shit I knew, and then we just molded that shit together. You know what I'm saying? Like kind of that shit, like he took what he was listening to and I took what I was listening to, which was, you know, my pops type of shit, Chicago, drill type of little shit. And I don't know, bro, niggas just stole some beats off YouTube really and just tried it. Like, I don't know, like we wasn't sitting down like we gonna do this specific style and we gonna do this or we gonna do it like this. Like, I don't know, niggas just went in that motherfucker and was just whatever came out. That's just how it happened. So we was more on some, yeah, like some pimp hop shit, you know what I'm saying? Like some Sugar Free, Mac Dre mixed with like some LA type niggas. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so yeah. you and Frosty are tight at the time. Mm-hmm. Draco's doing this thing. Do you guys ever work together or hang out or anything?
I ain't gonna cap. I've been on 32nd in and Naomi. That was his first, the first house that he had that niggas just always talk about, definitely. But like, we wasn't like super friends with them niggas. I guess it was kind of like, it was always maybe a little animosity, I don't know, because they was first. I think, excuse me, in their eyes, I think that in their eyes, we was copying them and we was trying to be like them. So it was kind of like they was fucking with us, but on some them the little niggas type shit. So once we started getting our feet wet in that shit, we was kind of like, niggas didn't fuck with us, so fuck it. You know, type shit. Like, we felt like niggas was little brother in us, which was, you feel me? I guess you could say that was reasonable at that time because they was already going up and we was new. So I guess they little brother niggas a little bit, you know what I'm saying? And once we get our notoriety, that's how it always go. When you coming up, when the niggas who up already, when they not super tight with you, when you get that spot, you kind of standoffish with niggas like, yeah, we here now. We ain't fucking with niggas. So I guess it was kind of like that, but I never had no beef with Draco or Ralphie, but it was like, I'm fucking with Snow, so I have to. Type shit. You know what I'm saying? It was kind of like I got dragged into that shit. But once it was so fucking much, man. That we could talk about that shit. Depending on how much time we got, I could go deep into that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, definitely, like, how could I put it? Like, when them niggas was coming out, they already had they scene, like they talking about crashing foreigns, drinking lean, doing all that shit, and we come out, talk about putting bitches down, you know what I'm saying, pimping and blase. So it was kind of like different cards it was like different sides of the same coin, so to speak, because Ralphie was doing that shit too. I could never take it away from him. Ralphie had the same topics, nigga, around the same time, all that shit. So you know what I'm saying? Keep that to keep that shit 1,000. They predated us by some months. You feel me? But I feel like once we got into it and we kind of got into our own thing, I think we kind of just ended up at odds just over, you know, niggas kids getting a little popularity, egos. That's just how that shit be. But at an early time, hell yeah, we used to go over there to Draco house and fuck with them. If niggas remember, when Draco and them would get in the boxing gloves and shit, like, it's some videos where niggas is around in the background, where Snow in the back, I'm in the back around that motherfucker. Like, no, we definitely used to be around them niggas, definitely. But I think Draco and Snow started getting into it, or Snow and Ralphie started getting into it. I'm not exactly sure. And it was like, I don't know them like that, so I gotta ride with the nigga I know. And then once me and Snow get into it, it's like, well, I'm not gonna call them niggas and wave the white flag. So it's just like, I don't got no problem with them and I don't fuck with that nigga no more, but I ain't gonna be calling niggas phones either. You know? Type shit. So it's like, you feel me? It's like, I don't fuck with that nigga no more. It was never really no beef, but that's my loyalty. And that's the thing that had me fucked up in LA in general, I think, is because I was so close to Frosty that when we separated, it was kind of like, I think people felt that me and his personalities was more alike than they are, because we really not the same type of nigga, like, at all. You know what I'm saying? And it was kind of like a bad look on me, like guilty by association. He do a lot of shit and you with that nigga, so you must be doing a lot of bullshit too, type shit. You know what I'm saying? So I felt like that put it was hard for me to maneuver and fuck with people because I was so close to him. And then when we ended up beefing, it was just like, a lot of niggas chose sides. You know how that shit be when you fuck with people and he bring friends and I bring friends and everybody separate and all that shit. So a lot of people choose sides, but I think that was a lot, that people didn't like his personality and they thought that I was like him. So in turn, people didn't fuck with me. And this no jumper shit is really like switching it around, because niggas could really see my personality. You know what I'm saying? Type shit. But it was like early on, we definitely used to affiliate, but niggas just started beefing and just kind of started going their own ways. I never had no outright beef with them, but Snow did, and I was just with that nigga, so it was guilty by association. So it was just like, fuck it, I'm with this nigga. He beef with them niggas, fuck it. But for a lot of his beef with them, me and him had already separated when he started beefing with them niggas. So it was kind of like, I don't give a fuck, I ain't in it type of shit. But I never got to reconcile with Draco before he died. No, I'm lying. We spoke through the DMs for sure. I think he hit me to see where some drink was at, or I hit him to see where some juice was at. You know what I'm saying? Then we exchanged emails or some shit, but we never got to do nothing. But Nah, it was just like being some of the most famous people in LA at the same time. Y'all gonna have some sort of discrepancies if niggas is not all under the same umbrella, you know?
And then Blueface comes out.
Right.
So I believe you have some history with Blueface.
Yeah,
How did you guys meet and everything?
I used to hang out with Jonathan. How did I meet him? Oh, Jonathan DM'd me, and he was like, "How much for the verse?" And niggas know me. I'm real smart with shit, and I could see talent before it cracks. So I went and looked at his page. I seen the Benjamin Franklin on his face, and I was like, this nigga could crack. Like, I seen it. He wasn't rapping like us yet or nothing. He had his own little Mickey Mouse squeaky voice type of shit. You know what I'm saying? And he hit me. He like, how much for the verse? And at this point, I think I'm charging like fucking $500, some cheap shit. You feel me? I'm charging some hella cheap shit. And I seen a lot of potential in him, so I lowered it even more. So I'm like, this price. So he's like, all right, bet. I'm going to tap in with you. Maybe like a month later, he dropped, what was it, on the Dead Lokes? So he tapped back in with me, and he was like, I don't really need that feature like that no more. I'm kind of blowing up, but nigga, let's lock in. Like, let me pull up on you and fuck with you type shit. So I used to, I was the first nigga to take Blueface to Melrose. I remember the first time I told that nigga, let's go to Melrose, the nigga told me it sounded dangerous. But that's neither here nor there. But I'm the first nigga to take that nigga on Melrose. I'm going everywhere with him. I'm in a lot of videos. If you go look, we got some shit too. We got a song with Stupid Young, and we got a song with the Prince of LA, and we had a music video to it. And I was just fucking with him. You feel me? I seen some similarities because he used to take a nigga ad-libs at this point, like saying the On the Gang and all that and Over and all that little shit. So I've seen some similarities, so we was fucking with him. But at first, he was fully on this Mickey Mouse squeaky shit. He started fucking with me, right? Like 8 months later down the lane, I'm fucking with him every day with the nigga. He at my dad's house. I'm at his people's house. I meet his baby mama, his son, all that type of shit, right? Like 8 months down the line, nigga get that Cash Money deal. And I remember I wake up one day and I see, pull up on your block and I bleed it, slide and found drop something, I can't leave it. Just like, nigga, did I write that shit? I'm like, nigga, that sound like me. You feel me? Like, you just completely switched. Like, anybody know, just go do the research. I'm not lying, I'm not capping, bro. Niggas know, if you go check them dates, 2016, I'm rapping like that. I've been had a raspy voice, all that shit. I've been rapping like that extra aggressive shit. And when he first came out, he on the Dead Lokes. And then he pop up, pull up on your block, and I bleed. And I was just like, whoa, like, niggas starting to steal my shit. So I wasn't super tripping yet, cause it's like, I can't get mad, he with me, but let's just see what he do. Like, you know what I'm saying? Let's see when a nigga go to these interviews, let's see. My only problem, like, you don't owe me $1, my nigga. You don't owe me shit. I don't want no money from a nigga, cause you a grown ass man. You feeding your family, like, that's cool. I don't want a dime from a nigga. But when you in these interviews, bro, and they be like, where you get your shit from? And you just be like, I hit the studio one day and liked my voice, bro. That's a fucking lie, nigga. Like, you came out sounding one way, and in middle of your career, you switched it and was on my shit for a minute. And then once he really got his feet wet, Cash Money signed him, then he started doing the auto-tune with the Bobby Johnson shit. Then he kind of more found himself. But for a minute, he found me and was fully stealing my shit. Like, fully. The shit is crazy. Fully.
Now, did you guys ever have a falling out or whatever happened with you guys?
So, I remember the last time I think I seen Blueface is, I think at a show. I think at the Novo, like 2018 or something. And we was still cool. But I don't remember. Nah, it was, I got fed up to a certain point where I think the nigga dropped the mixtape and the whole tape sounded like me. And I'm just like, nigga, I'm fed up with this shit, bro. So I speak out. I'm like, man, niggas is taking my shit, bro. Like, and it's obvious. And people have been saying it, but I'm just being nice. Like, nah, it's cool, it's cool. Cause it was like, all right, maybe it's one song. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe he not just finna fully take a nigga shit. But then a nigga drop a mixtape and it's just like fully sounding like me. And I'm like, this shit weird. So I speak out. And then, yeah, we just start getting into it from there type shit. Like, yeah, like all over the internet. And I was just like, bro, like, you sound like me, bro. You my son. Then you just try to say like, oh yeah, just say you want to be Lil Blueface. And I was just like, I'll find all that shit hella funny, bro. Cause niggas know. everybody from here, like from LA who tapped in with the shit, they know. As soon as he came out, niggas was like, whoa, this nigga sound like you, dog. He's stealing your shit. So it's like, it's not even like, fuck that nigga, I see that nigga, it's up. I don't give a fuck. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't care. It's just when people ask you where you get it from, to just tell the truth. Like, I got a little, that's cool to be like, who inspired you? And be like, oh, Whoopty Whoop inspired me, X, Y, Z. Like, that's okay, bro. Everybody gets inspiration from places. Like, my problem isn't you're taking my shit. My problem is you're taking my shit and not telling people that you're taking my shit. Like, usually when people get inspiration, they name the song after him, or they be like, Whoopty Whoop flow. Like, you know, shit like that. When people take inspiration, they say it. They'll either say it in a song like I'm X, Y, and Z, and then use some shit they do, or name the song after them. Like, you feel me? It's ways to take inspiration and let it be known that you took the inspiration. Like, I just didn't appreciate how niggas just was like, yeah, I hit the booth and I liked how my voice sounded. Like, nigga, cap, nigga. You stole my shit and it's obvious.
All right, well, I thought we'd get into some current events a little bit and kind of just get your take on a few things, man.
Let's do it.
So, in some of the most recent news that just came out, a man has been arrested for the murder of Takeoff.
That shit crazy. The internet, I feel like these internet detectives did that. I don't feel like that was the police job, bro. I feel like these trolls on the internet did that shit. It's crazy. Everybody was speculating, screenshotting, zooming in on niggas in the back. Like, I think that's him. Going to niggas' Instagrams. He got that belt and that shoe. I think that shoe print that was in the mall, I think that's the same shoe print on this nigga Instagram. That gotta be the shooter. Like, that's how niggas be. You feel me? These Instagram people put it together. But I think that shit was crazy, bro, because Takeoff seemed like a cool dude. You know what I'm saying? He was never in too much. I never heard a Takeoff getting into it with anybody. Ever from the beginning of Migos. He was always cool as shit, but I think that shit crazy, bro. I think that shit crazy.
It isn't the guy everybody thought it was. Everybody thought it was Little Cam, which I believe.
Didn't he get arrested for that shit too?
No. Well, he's in jail, but he's in jail for something else. And I believe
crazy.
This is the guy that academics kind of pointed at, and this man was getting death threats and. You know what I mean? Like,
that's tricky, bro. I feel like it's different when it's public information and you're just reporting on it. Other than it's different than I think that nigga right there did it and let's pull his name up and find him. That's a little weird, bro. At that point, you're doing the police's job for them. You're not speaking on. You're not even like reporting. You're not speaking on public information. Like, nigga, you're informing. You're not reporting. You're informing at that point. You feel me? It's different from being a reporter and an informer. I feel like that's informing, dog.
Yeah, the internet, I mean, you know, you got the fans, right? And the fans know, like, if they know Takeoff, they probably know his friends.
Right.
They know everybody's friends, and they know where they hang, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, they know all this stuff about him, So when somebody dies, it's like, oh, who's that mysterious guy? Oh, that's this person. Oh, this is his Instagram. It's like, it's all there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and it's crazy because in the 90s, like, how the fuck you find out about your favorite rapper? Early 2000s? How the fuck you find out about your favorite rapper? Now all you do, wake up, go to that nigga page, watch his story every day. You know everything. There's no mystique to rappers no more. I feel like that's why a lot of times when people come out and it's just a big question mark on them, it works. Like niggas like XX and shit like that. Like when your background is kind of like a mystique, I feel like nowadays that's not normal because everybody know, like you said, they know the rappers, they know the rappers' friends, they know they hangouts because they watch you on their phone every day. Like I feel like that shit, it's the social media, it's the world we're in. Everybody put their lives. We pretty much know how most people live by watching them on social media because people pretty much put, and don't even put their whole life, they just put highlights. I tell people that all the time. Instagram is not people's real life. Niggas is just putting the highlights of their life on Instagram and making it seem like it's that every day. You feel me? Okay.
You're 100%, man. I barely ever see anybody come out and say, man, I had a bad day today. Like,
You feel me? It's
just don't
rare,
really happen.
especially like famous people. That's hella rare. Like usually you'll get your everyday, common people who will say that. But yeah, I feel like Instagram is just, I feel like that made it hard for like our generation and like my daughter. I got a 6-year-old and I'm just hella scared like when you grow up, because this is like, damn, it's so much pressure. Everything is in your phone. Everybody know each other. Like, it's different. It was just so much mystique. Like, nobody know if you homeless and fucked up at your house in 2008 because, nigga, it's not, you don't got on Instagram to know that this nigga and his whole family is in a hotel. Like, it was a lot of people going through some struggles and they'll be able to get through it because nobody knows. You know what I'm saying? Nowadays, it's just extra pressure on you because everybody know and you just want to, you know what I'm saying? You want your highlight reel of your life to be better than everybody else highlight reel of your life. And it's just like, bro, that shit unrealistic, dog. You're going to drive yourself crazy like that.
Yeah, real shit, man. Well, something else that's, been going viral, man. He's been going viral out for I think like a month straight. Kanye West.
Fucking Kanye.
Crazy. I mean, it's kind of hard for my brain to even like put Kanye West and Nazis together.
It's hard, right? Because it's like we kind of get this thing with Kanye where when he say shit, we always want to like look behind it and see if it's a deeper meaning. But it's like sometimes, bro, you just gotta take it for face value. Sometimes this nigga just be saying bullshit. And sometimes I think with Kanye, bro, is he says a lot of crazy shit and then there might be like 4% of truth sprinkled on that shit, but then it just be like a whole bunch of bullshit around the plate too, but just a 10% truth in it, but it's a whole lot of weird shit around it. It's real hard to dissect Kanye, dog. It's so many layers to that, man. It's hard. It's like you didn't took the past 15 years to build yourself up. And nigga, it's kind of like you just tearing that shit down day by day. But it's like with Kanye, you want to think like, it gotta be ulterior motives. Like, we wanna think he's smarter than this. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like, we don't fucking know. You wanna think he's smarter than this, like, on side A, it's like, all right, he's doing this to get out of his contracts and all these contractual agreements. And then on the B side, it's like, I think this nigga might have just lost his rocker. Or it could be both. We don't fucking know, dog. That's why it's like, well, Kanye, I try not to speak too soon and just wait. Because sometimes he say shit and then later you be like, that nigga was right. But then sometimes it's like, my nigga Hitler. Bro, you fucking wildin'. You fucking wildin', dog. Like, what positivity? And then it's like, so what? A nigga could do, that's like saying, say I'm a mass murderer, but I came up with coffee mugs. Y'all gon' just give me a pass by because he did a lot of good in coffee mugs, but you were a fucking mass murderer. That's like the same thing. Hitler did a lot of good, but my nigga, that doesn't matter, bro. Like, the negative outweighed the good, so why are we talking about the good? Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, dog. With him, you just gotta just kind of just watch, my nigga, and just let that shit play out. Because he just be saying some bullshit sometimes, but at the same time, it be a little truth sprinkled in it, but it's like, I don't know. I don't know, dog. I don't know.
How do you feel about him accusing Kim of hooking up with Chris Paul?
Hey, I don't fucking believe it. I wouldn't doubt it. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Kim Kardashian get around, nigga, so I wouldn't fucking doubt it. And it's so crazy that this nigga predicted this shit 15 years ago. 18 years. You remember that? Like, nigga, you brought this shit. Like, nigga, he did a prophecy. Like, 15 years ago, you spoke this shit, and now it's you clown. It's like, I feel like maybe he just losing sight of his vision, dog. I feel like he's de-evolving. Like, I don't know. What happened to... This is not the same man as George Bush don't care about black people. This is not the same nigga. Like, I don't fucking know. I don't know, dog. It's definitely levels to this shit. I don't know. You just gotta kind of wait and see with Kanye. But I think he just says a lot of bullshit, and it might be like 3% of truth sprinkled in that shit.
Well, you got the PnB thing, that everybody kind of knows about that happened. PnB Rock, that happened in South Central, man. And one of the headlines that I seen recently is that his brother said he has been back to that Roscoe's and Chicken like 20 deep.
For who?
I guess looking for people.
Nigga, for what? Who are you looking for? The father and son are in jail. Like, Nigga, I don't think that wasn't no gang shit. From what I could see, like, nigga, I think that was some opportunity shit. Not no gang shit. Like, that was some thirsty opportunity shit. Like, who are you coming for? What are you gonna, I don't get it. Like, I get it. Your brother gone and you want someone, like, some revenge, justice, whatever it may be. Like, I get that side. But it's just like, what are we doing? Like, who are you coming out here looking for, my nigga? Like, what's the point? Like, I get it. Your brother gone and it's a fucked up situation. But it's just like, who are we looking for, nigga? You put up to the Roscoe's, just stand outside that motherfucker. Like, I don't get it. Like, you feel me? And then it's like, nigga, if you was really gonna do something, why the fuck would you announce that shit to the world? This is what I'm saying, bro. It's like, you either a dumbass or you cap. And some people will really put on Instagram, I'm gonna kill you and kill you. So I hate when people be like that. He said he gonna kill you on Instagram. He ain't gonna kill you. Boy, there's idiots. These niggas will kill you and tell Instagram they gonna kill you. But at the same, that's what I'm saying. Like, they can either be stupid or cap. He can either be stupid by telling on himself, saying we finna go to Roscoe's with 30 niggas and I've been out there already, or he either dumb or you cap. I don't fucking know, but I don't really know what's the end goal of that. Like, I just want to know, like, who you gonna see? What are we doing? Like, you feel me? And for the locals, nigga, the motherfuckers who live over there don't go over there. Nigga, I ain't never been inside that Roscoe's. I lived in LA my whole life. I ain't never lived nowhere else. I ain't never been inside that motherfucker. I done drove past that bitch. Why would I go to the Roscoe's on Manchester? That's one on Pico. It's one in Hollywood. It's one in Long Beach. I'm not finna go to that one. That was crazy. But I mean, he's not from here, so maybe he didn't have that information. I just think that shit just sad.
Is that Roscoe? So that Roscoe's is like,
man, niggas
well
know.
known. Like, stay away.
That's the Roscoe's with roaches. Niggas know. Don't go over there. Like, bro, everybody know that. Like, the motherfuckers from that area don't go to that motherfucker. Like, bro, people know. I don't know nobody who be in that Roscoe's. Nigga, anytime I go to Roscoe's, I go to the one on Pico, or I go to the one in Long Beach, and I call in. Yeah, don't fucking sit in Roscoe's. Me, bro, when I move, people who know, my manager, he know I move militant. I want to put my back to the wall. I got to see the door. Like, if we gonna sit in a restaurant, my back to the wall. I got to see the door. I'm scoping the place. 9 times out of 10, I don't even want to do that. I don't even go out and sit down and eat. Like, all that shit, you got to, being a rapper is the most dangerous job. And I've been saying that shit for 5 years. And niggas used to look at me crazy. I've been saying that shit. Being a rapper is the most dangerous job. With gang members, at least you know what to look out for. A hat, something a nigga might say, you know. With rap, you have no clue. A nigga coming to you to take a picture and blow your lights out. You have no clue. A nigga be like, bro, I love you. I want to take a picture with you. And try to snatch your shit. You never know. With rap, everybody know your face and you have no clue. You just got to be on 10 like all fucking day. So it's like when you rap, bro, you got to move smart. I wouldn't have been caught dead in that Roscoe's. Ever. Never been in it. Nope. Fuck no. And niggas know not to go to that motherfucker. That everybody know that's the dirty Roscoe's with roaches, nigga. Why the fuck would you go to the east side Roscoe's, dog? Go to Pico. But I mean, he wasn't from here. He not an LA native, so like I get it. But when I go to other places, I'm calling locals. When I go to New York, I'm calling my niggas from New York. When I go to Texas, I'm calling my niggas from Texas. That's what I'm saying. Checking in ain't you getting extorted. Nigga, that's you calling, getting familiar with the layout in the land. Like, if you a fish out of water and you in other niggas' places, other places get just as greasy as here, if not a little worse. So, nigga, check in with the motherfuckers that you might know, and that don't mean giving a nigga money and coming out your pocket. No, hey, bro, I'm finna be there the 15th. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? Like, let's move around. You feel me? Like, you gotta call in and know the do's and the do nots of whatever area that you go to. I do.
I hear you, man. I hear you, man. That possibly could have saved his life.
Yeah, you got to call in. And even if I don't know, like, if, say, I drove past that Roscoe's or somebody in my team was like, yo, we want to go to this address. I'm going to send that address to the people from that hometown. But, like, this green? This bad? Like, could I be here? Should I not? And depending on what they say is if I'm going to go or not. I'm not playing like that. Nah, you got to move smart, you know? But, hey, I don't know what could have been through his head. Maybe he did. We have no clue. I don't know.
Yeah, man.
That shit was sad.
Sad situation, man. Yeah. Well,
R.P. to Rock, for sure.
R.I.P., man, for sure, man. Well, man, what are you working on? What do you got coming up?
I'm doing interviews on No Jumper. I got a mixtape coming, The Usual Suspect. I got an artist, Almighty Zay, to look out for. And I'm really trying to go full-fledged with the content, like just full. To me, to be honest, right now, rap taking the back seat. Like, nigga, I'm full YouTuber. I want to start. I'm about to start get into the Twitch shit with the video games. I want to do like classic PS2 games, but I want to Twitch stream them. You feel me? Like the Warriors, Def Jam, Midnight Club, like the good classic shit that niggas not playing. I want to play that shit, YouTube, and I want to interview people. You know what I'm saying? I just want to just the podcast, YouTuber shit, just going around talking about topics, reviewing, all that shit. Anything that got to do with the YouTube shit, I'm getting my feet wet with it right now. It's working, clearly, you know? So I know Jumper for like maybe 3 or 4 months now. Even way before the Kelpy shit, I already had a job at No Jumper. So it's like, yeah, that's what we working on right now. I'm trying to full YouTuber, full podcaster, all that shit. We trying to go full YouTube broke. That's where the money at right now. Rappers is broke. I don't know no broke YouTubers. No cap.
Damn. Okay. It does seem to be, a little bit easier to get the money because you're just getting it from ads and, rappers, they, you got to spend hours in the studio.
You got to go outside.
Get it on, Apple and.
You risking your life every show. Risking your life for a couple thousand. You feel me? Well, you could be sitting at home on the phone, chilling, getting your bag, watching TV. You feel me? Reviewing your shit from YouTube, just getting your bag from the secure your place. When you rap, you gotta go outside and do shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna act like I'm gonna stop rapping. Nah, not at all. Cause I love this shit. I'm gonna keep rapping always. But I mean, like I said, rappers be broke. YouTubers, that's the thing right now. So it's like, once people start telling me like, bro, you good on camera, you talk well, XYZ, I'm like, fuck it, let's do it. And people like me on camera, so hey, I like it. You know what I'm saying? It's cool. So I don't see no reason not to. And YouTube where the money at. So hey, I'm all in for sure. I enjoy it. So you feel me? I'm with the shit.
That's what's up. I hear you, man. Let's get it, But man, Suspect, I appreciate you.
Appreciate you for having me, bro.
Yeah, for sure, man. I wish you success over there at No Jumper, man. You guys got a lot going on. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of great content being created over there, man. So
facts. Hey, I'm trying to be
everybody over there.
I'm trying to be a Cam Capone regular, man. Feel me? Have me come through to this motherfucker, talk about some shit. I'll pull up whenever.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll check. Yeah. I like how that sounds, man. For sure.
For sure. Let's do it. Just let me know. I'm with whatever.
Okay. For sure, man. Sounds good, man.
Appreciate you, bro.
All right, bro. Appreciate you too. All right, bro.